welcome aboard. If you're watching this video, then let me be the first to say, congratulations! You've stumbled upon the finest viewing experience where opinions are served hot and views come with a side of ludicrousness. Many great chefs will tell you that the most important part of a dish is the final garnish and how it's plated. Well, that's a bunch of baloney. As you can see with waiting, all you need are flavorful characters. Still not satisfied? Well, march on down to Shenanigans, and let's talk about it.
Here at Shenanigans, you will meet many different flavor profiles, making a feast of diversity. Each one adding just a new layer to this 7-layer dip of absurdity and madness. First up on our list of ingredients.
Including, but not limited to, Naomi. She's always scorching like a Carolina Reaper, causing some intense burning and then leaving you sweaty.
She's as nutty as a fruitcake. You could ask why she doesn't spice things up with a different grind, but a question that raw would make her go bananas.
Okay.
Then, you'll be stewing in your own juices with a sour look on your face, realizing that it would have been butter just to shut your pie hole. This bad apple of the bunch requires walking on lots of eggshells just to keep her from boiling over. Her agitation ranging from 40,000 to 2.2 million SHU comes off very naturally. She constantly chews up the scenery, and it's always delicious. Any dude would take this snack if they weren't so scared of getting ketchup on their hot dogs, because Aunt Flo keeps serving sizzling marinara without any beef.
Where's the beef?
While Naomi simmers, Calvin's icing nozzle remains clogged. An absolute cream puff of a man if I have ever seen one. Mr. Milquetoast has a relationship so flavorless she was never even brought to the table. Her pantry is never quite short on those breadsticks, while Calvin works a double-stuffed shift for her. So whipped you'd think he was churning butter. There's guys who beat their meat every day, and then there's a guy that would eat out his own plastic dessert dispenser.
Calvin's anguish leaves a bad taste in your mouth, like a moldy casserole of desperation wrapped in self-esteem thinner than a crepe. Take this with a grain of salt, but if a guy happens to be staring at your wiener while you're at the urinal, just offer him some lemonade.
There is perhaps a little takeaway here, though. Without any zest, you look as frail as a wet noodle. Honestly, no one here treats him any better than week-old leftovers. Calvin could get a whole meal served to him, and he'd still fail to pop that cherry once the milk jugs come out. Calvin is low-hanging fruit compared to the rest.
At least Calvin's half-baked meatball rolled up to the smartest cookie in the pack, Bishop. What is there to say about Bishop? He's as cool as a cucumber, wisdom aged like a fine wine, and always surrounded by a smoky aroma.
This big old glob of chocolate leaves no bitterness, especially when delivering hard candy truths. His red velvet voice could soothe even the most overheated tempers. Except the most overheated temper of them all.
Wash the dishes and shut the up! Psycho-babble bullshit asshole!
Okay, Bishop, you don't teach grandmother to suck at us.
As far as the kitchen staff goes, no one is better than Bishop. Speaking of the kitchen staff, let's bust open this rotten cornucopia of likely ex-cons. The underappreciated backbone of the buffet who lacked the sweetness for customer service. If there was a bad egg that spoiled the bunch in this kitchen, then it would be Radimus, bringing his crude yet hilarious mushroom showing game. Of course, this dozen was already close to the expiration date anyway, thanks to Floyd, leading the kitchen and garnishing the finishing touches on Karen's meal.
Even though the kitchen staff is often stuffed with felons, they've always got your back when dealing with the dreaded fire-breathing Karen. This See You Next Tuesday was just an appetizer compared to the 4-course hell that is restaurant work. But even with her limited portion size, The actress could really bring home the bacon with her portrayal of this sour as vinegar customer.
These Karen behaviors have been marinating in our society for so long, they've tenderized the population, as well as enhanced the sense of entitlement, douchebaggery, and not-so-subtle notes of oversensitivity. They've become so infamous through the meme grapevine, Gordon Ramsay would say, "You donut!" And who is the sorry sucker that gets stuck with this Karen? Amy. Amy is like buttered toast. Always warm and soft, but being as sweet as honey, ironically, makes you the most bland.
Bland. Pretty bland.
She paired up with Dean, and both of them are the most basic. 2 peas in a pod. So that's why there isn't much else to pick at with Amy. But, if Amy is jelly, then Serena is her peanut butter.
The definition of sugar, spice, and everything nice. Her only main role seems to be exposing Monty for being a two-pump chump with a Humpty Dumpty shell. The drama these two manage to stir is only sugarcoating the aphrodisiac-laced tension. To put it all in a nutshell, she got treated like a salad, drowned in all that white dressing, and then tossed.
However, don't count her out just yet. Not only does she bring the heat, but she ends up serving Monty his just desserts with that description of his mini cocktail wiener. Monty is the saucy showman drizzling one-liners that contain a little kick. He hides behind a hard candy shell and hopes no one notices underneath his soft, chewy center is nothing more than a shallow-ass cracker. So brittle he crumbles under the slightest bit of pressure.
Monty's also got a taste for fruit that is not ripe, and it still belongs on the vine, where he found it. We've got a salty word for that kind of craving, but YouTube might put a lid on this pot if we say it.
So, we fished out an acronym for you.
Players enjoy disappearing often.
Oh, what the fuck ever!
But, where would Monty be without the salt to his pepper? Dean, who has found himself in a pickle and even spoiling a role that isn't cutting the mustard anymore. He's put all aspirations on the back burner for far too long, and now he's completely lost in the sauce. Dean is carrying quite a heavy plate, which is easy to digest, but he still continues to cry over spilled milk. At least he finally managed to wipe it up near the end instead of letting it crust to the carpet by turning down Dan's lemons to make lemonade.
When the flavor starts fading, he soon realizes that adding variety is the ultimate spice of life. Who can honestly blame Dean for sending Dan's promotion back to the kitchen? Who would want to ferment into Dan? The manager, Dan the man, he is trying to find an apple that won't fall far from his tree. Besides Dean, Dan and Monty end up developing this new taste for veal. The main difference being Monty actually knows how to eat it.
It is genuinely a struggle to find one redeeming quality about Dan. He's petty, he's useless, he's overconfident, he's bald, he lacks social skills of any kind, no managerial skills of any kind, he's very creepy, he's insanely stupid, bald, and is the kind of person that makes you wonder what you did wrong in your life for him to have more power than you. And he's bald. Thanks, man. Here's some food for thought. Dan needs to be thrown out, just like a well-done steak. He always comes out with egg on his face, and especially when trying to catch up with Natasha.
This donut needs more time to fry before getting cream-filled. The minor side dish being prepped as a sacrificial lamb chop for this tasteless entree, but she also chooses to have her cake and eat it too.
Do you think I'm gonna turn you in? You think you're gonna get arrested?
No.
Just because she's undercooked doesn't mean she's not stirring the pot. She is obviously aware of the type of appetite she's feeding and happily serves it. With a smile.
That was a lot to go through, but I think we got them all.
Are we forgetting anybody? Oh yeah, Mitch! The slow cooker who stays on low heat. That is, until he delivers a platter of insults with true expertise, easily making him one of, if not the most memorable ingredient for this recipe, showing his nuts to everyone.
Waiting managed to serve up something extra, a hearty dish of relatability for anyone that has worked in food service. For those who are familiar with food service, this is our own recipe book. Mostly everything here is completely spot on and grilled to a golden perfection. That is the kind of secret sauce that makes this work. I will give this dish 2 Michelin stars.
I give it 3. This dining experience would not be the same without its characters. In fact, it would be nothing at all. What makes this dish so delicious is that there's not much need for a message or a strong moral lesson. It's an everyday meal for everyday people, providing mediocre food and lackluster service with a smile. What can go wrong?
It's because of this!
Ow!
Pow! Pow! Pow!
It's so angry!
Oh, lovely pussy, what a beautiful pussy you are. Oh, lovely pussy, what a beautiful pussy you are.
Does this thing have its shots? Put it away! Put it away!